It became a lot for my daughter not having me around, and it became hard on me because I felt like a bad mom. Alright, the question that everyone has been asking: where have I been? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Christina. For those that don't know me, back in 2021 I started filming videos about home inspection. I started my channel back in 2015, and I have been able to document my journey throughout my life since then. And it's been a journey, it's been ups and downs, it's been consistent, it's been inconsistent. And back in 2021, after the pandemic, I decided to become a home inspector. So I documented everything from studying, from my first inspection, from my first job, and then after a couple of months of doing that consistently, I completely stopped. And now it's a year and something, a year and a half later, and here I am. How was my experience going into the field with no background of construction or building? It was pretty hard. It was pretty hard for me because, one, I was always so nervous to give the wrong information to the client, because this is their purchase, their big purchase, and I don't take that lightly, you know. I wanted to be able to provide the accurate information. I've heard so many horror stories of people buying homes, and then after years later they find out that they had no insulation, or they find out that the job was not done correctly, if it was a new construction. So there was a lot of things in my mind, a lot of insecurities that went through my head on my first couple of weeks, even my first couple of months as a new inspector. So when I started working for this company, we were not only doing home inspection, and I believe that most of the companies are the same way. They not only do home inspection, they do other inspections such as the WDO, that's for the termite inspection. They do the 4-point, that's for the home insurance. As soon as I finished my certification and I had my license and everything, I was good to go. I had to also take my license for my drone, as you guys know. And once I had those two things, my drone license and my home inspector license, I was able to start and go to work. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of recap. So as you guys know, I documented my journey on studying and taking my test, my exam. As soon as I got my home inspection license, I was able to get to work. So day one, they bring you in. Well, they brought me in and another person that was starting at the same time as me, gave us orientation, and within a couple of days later we were on the field with a trainer. He had his trainer and I had mine, so we had a one-on-one with a specific inspector that had years of experience, and I will forever be grateful because the person that my trainer, I will forever have a special place in my heart for him. He was so patient, and he was very thorough with my training, and he will go and tell me the background of structural wise on why this specific thing is important, especially when it came to foundation and structure. Into the attic, we were able to see the beams and the structures, the different nails, the spacing, all this stuff that we need to know for home inspection. When you read it from a book, it's one thing, but then when you're on the field, that's when you get your experience. That's why it's so important, if you guys are in the beginning stages of becoming a home inspector, are studying for that exam, study that exam, but know that your learning doesn't stop there. You learn more on the field. So for the first couple of weeks, we get 90-day training, and then depending on his evaluation, as the trainer will evaluate the inspector if they're ready to go into the field. And after 90 days, if they still need more training, then they take it week by week until the inspector is ready to go. They started me with new construction, so I can get used to working on my own. By that time, I was already familiar with the software. We used Spectora, and everything was good and dandy. However, in the ideal life, or the majority of my jobs, they were not only new constructions. Obviously, with new construction, majority of things are new, and there are mistakes that are made. Things get forgotten. So that is why it's so important for an inspector to go and inspect a new home. But the problem was, whenever I ran into older homes, I am a perfectionist, and I know that a home is one of the biggest purchases a person can do. So I was constantly guessing myself, second guessing myself, being insecure of my answers, and I'm being straight up and honest. I didn't want to give the wrong information. And we have to keep in mind that we are not plumbers, we're not roofers, we are inspectors. So we inspect, and if something doesn't look right, then we refer to people. So I noticed that really early on, that was one thing that I always made it very clear to the client. As soon as I introduce myself, always with a happy smile, always letting them know, hey, my name is Christina, I work for such and such, we have this appointment, I'm gonna do this, this, and that, and if I think something is wrong, I'm gonna call you so you can see it. Because sometimes, you know, while I'm doing the inspection, they will go around, get measurements and things like that. It's super normal on an inspection, because an inspection, depending on how big the structure is, it could be pretty long. I mean, sometimes it could take 3, 4, 5 hours, depending all the things that they want done on the property that same day. So sometimes I had to do a full home inspection, wind mitigation, a WDO, a sewer scope, a pool inspection. So a lot of inspections that at the end of the day had to be reported on. So if I'm doing all these 5 inspections, those were 5 reports. Plus then I had 3 appointments per day. I had 1 in the morning and then 2 in the afternoon. So sometimes on the afternoon, on my 2:30 and 3 o'clock, I had 2 small inspections, like a wind mitigation and a WDO, or a 4-point and a WDO. So those are really common. There you go. So I have 5 from the beginning in the morning, then I had 2 in the afternoon and 2 in the same property. So 2 in the afternoon, to 2 o'clock and the 3:30. I hope this is making sense. But at the end of the day, I had 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 reports to write, which it's fine when you are not tired. It's fine when you don't have a family to feed. It became overwhelming for me. It became overwhelming for me because I felt like all I did was reports. That year of home inspection, I could not have time for my family because I was also needed to work on Saturdays. So it was very, it took a toll for my family, especially for my daughter, because my daughter at the time was 8, and I will help her with her homework. Okay, I don't know where I left off, but it became a lot for my daughter not having me around, and it became hard on me because I felt like a bad mom. I had like that parent guilt of not being there for her. So what I decided to do after a year, I started in March of 2021, and in May of 2022 I decided to quit. I decided to put my 2-week notice because I wanted to dedicate my summer to my daughter. And I was like, well, they did offer me the position to become part-time. I left the company. I was already well enough knowledge-wise to be able to start my own company, or to, if I did wanted to go back, I could always become a part-time. So that's where I am now. Oh, hold on. Hello? That's that. That's in a nutshell. That's what happened. And then it got too busy for me to continue filming, editing, and posting while going through this whole emotion of working so much and not having enough time for my daughter. What else I wanted to update you guys with? One thing I did wanted to point out, everyone's different, everyone learned different, and I do consider myself kind of like a slow learner. It takes me a while for me to grasp things. When he sees something and he has like a photographic memory and he's able to remember, not me. I always constantly had to go back to the books. I had a message, someone messaged me and told me, oh yeah, because Spectora, it's so easy. And it is easy. It's easy when you know what you're doing. It's easy when you're not second guessing yourself. And I was in that position. And then obviously with the time I got better and I was not struggling as much. But at the beginning I was. And that's totally normal. Towards the end, I was just being overworked, and at least that's how I felt, and that's it. So with that being said, after the summer ended, I decided not to pursue home inspection, because home inspection for me was something that I wanted to become. I wanted to become a licensed home inspector, because me and Alfred have plans of owning real estate. We have several properties already that we manage. We wanted to have the experience of home inspection, so whenever we do purchase a new home, we have the experience on what to expect and what to look for. That's why I became a home inspector. Now I am working as an auditor for a different company, totally different field, but I'm planning to be there for a couple of months, not more than a year. I made that very clear, because I have other things going on in my life. So yeah, so I just wanted to update you guys on what has been happening with me. And but I do miss YouTube. YouTube for me was a passion, has been a passion for years. I opened my channel back in 2015, and I started with makeup, lifestyle, then move on to, I've missed YouTube. It's been one of my passions for a long time. I opened my channel back in 2015, and it's nice to look back on how much I've learned, how much I've grown, my editing and everything. I'm also in a different room now. My office is the guest room, so I put cute lights here. I have my vision board here. But yeah, that's a quick update of me and my life. I hope you guys stick around. I do know that a lot of you guys were only here for home inspection content, and unfortunately those will not be coming up. I am gonna be able to answer some questions here and there, but I won't have specific videos or content on home inspection. But I did want to give you a background on what's to come. I do want to continue filming my life. For me, it's very satisfying. It's a passion of mine. And that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope this answered a lot of your questions, and I will see you all on my next video. Bye guys.